We are live here on Thread Raiders for One Drop for Flint, and we are going to continue with our RPG marathon. And this time I get to do some fun stuff here to these poor individuals. I mean, these amazing characters that they have spent days and days developing. Hey, I'm looking right back at you, Bernie Sanders. I'm looking at you.
It's Bernard Salamanders. Get it right. This voice is going to be terrible the whole time.
I was not ready.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I gotta go. I think I left my cat on.
My oven is running away.
I've got things to do.
And now you know what you're in store for. Stick around. We're gonna have some donations. We got it posted down below, what you guys can throw in to mess up the game. I mean, throw a wrench in our works and make sure we have lots of fun and keep these guys off your guards. But please do put some donations. We're gonna do some giveaways out there during the stream today. We've got tabletop loot dice sets coming to the chat, so please be active in chat and you can win a set of dice. We've also got Ice Cream Dice has done a nice donation to $10 gift cards for some of our viewers. And then we also have Power Outage, a PDF game that is just launched. So we'll get you guys exposed to that and get the word out about that amazing game. So looking really, really good today. We are going to be lost in Xen'drik today. And we're going to go and do some quick introductions of our cast here. And then we'll jump right in. We'll do character introductions as we play. As I've got a space for them specifically dedicated, and then we'll just dive right on in. Unless anybody else has anything they want to pitch. The donations, by the way, will be going through Little Miss Flint, if you're unfamiliar with the One Drop for Flint thus far. So when you go to the donation page, it is the same thing, and we are super, super excited to get underway. Who's ready for this?
Tuesday.
Ready as will ever be.
All right. Who knows anything about Xen'drik?
Of course.
I don't.
Referring to Nat.
Yeah.
I feel like I should have been there before, but I can't remember it.
Look. I've been on this shit since 4E.
All right. Well, Nat, let's start with you.
Walk us through it, Nat. Just.
I'm going to let the DM.
Nat, let's start with your introduction, and then we'll just go ahead and go clockwise.
Hi, I'm Nat, resident Eberron lore master, unkillable lunk of meat in this game, and we're going to have a good time. You can find me on Twitter at Kreimnat. I do editing and layout design and stuff, but, right now we're focusing on this. And I'm going to pass it over to Sam.
Oh, I didn't realize I was clockwise. Hey, I am Sam. I use they, she. I'm going to be playing Lior de Thrask. Is that how? Thrashk? I can't say it. They can, though. And they are a Way of the Open Hands monk. You can find me at the Samwisest on Twitter, and I am Samwise_GameG in the chat.
Ooh.
Robert?
I was going, jeez.
Robert?
No, I'm talking. What are you? Stop.
Robert?
No.
Robert?
Okay. So,
sorry, we're bullying you.
I am Robert Allen, voice actor extraordinaire. You can find me on the tweeters at Voices of Robert. I today will be playing Bernard Salamanders, a half-elven druid of the moon, who will, he's a very old man, that's all. And I will pass it down to Tim, who is below me.
I am below you. Hello.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. I'm Tim at Anonmorph on all the social interwebs, and that's basically me. And I'm playing Rex Graves, your average Warforged noir detective. And hand it over to Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I can be found on Twitter at Darth Entreri. I'll be playing Olaf Only. He is a Turtle Grave Cleric and former front bard for 30-second chemical reaction on Shard.
I'm in love.
That's so very good.
I love that so much.
I want to see this turtle band. Like, it's a reunite. Okay, we got to see this. Get back
Cancel
together.
the one shot. We're now just
Reunion
going to
to
this
Yeah,
concert.
now it's just all about this.
I was gonna go straight on into Megan's introduction.
No,
here,
no,
but
it's fine. No, that's fine.
yeah,
That's fine.
I think we need a
I
show.
understand. Yes.
No, let Megan go, please.
Oh, okay. Hello, everybody. I am Megan. You can find me most places at Megan Lynn FTW. Today I am playing Fen, who is a changeling warlock. Currently looks very elfy, but is a changeling. She has been several different heroes of lore throughout the years, but now is just kind of just hanging around and fighting things, as you do.
All right. And I am Dungeon Master Corry, the forever DM by choice, but this year I am trying to be a player in more things. So if you would like to get me into one of your games or anything, hit me up in Twitter. My DMs are open. I would love to play in your game. You can find me at DM Corry on Twitter. In fact, most social media, and I check them regularly. I do not post a lot. I'm terrible at posting. Anybody else have that problem? Like, I feel like such a lurker on all my social media. I read everybody's things, like it, comment.
That's
but then I
still
never
valid,
tweet anything.
Corey.
I'm
Well, not
passive.
the other night, Corey.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So do a little bit of scene setting here. So you're all awakening in the morning. It's morning. You can hear as you awaken to the sound of tropical birds and primates shouting in the early morning light from inside your tents, individual tents. It's cool and refreshing underneath the canopy. It's not overwhelmingly warm like you would expect in the jungle. And as you emerge from your tents, you notice, as you're filtering out, the day has awoken you. You see that there is a young half-orc man who is tending a fire and cooking a breakfast. It's sort of a scant, meager rationing of some small jungle critter and an oat porridge that is being cooked on an iron skittle or an iron pot over on a tripod over some coals in the center. You note that the tents are sort of arranged in a disarrayed pattern, much unlike what you would expect. And as you're looking around, you recognize no one. No one. The half-orc looks up, surveys his new audience, and he says, "We'll have time for introductions soon. This is not the first time this has happened. My name is Kolak. According to my notes, we've been lost. And this is not the first time we've been lost in this expedition. Please do make your introductions about yourselves over breakfast, and I will fetch Dr. Moros. He is the leader of our expedition, and he should have been here already, but I fear he may have slept in today." Dr. Moros, we'll better be able to describe where we're headed next. He is the keeper of the map.
Go wake him, please, then.
And he makes his way off towards a camp on the a tent on a rather large, ornate tent on the opposite side of camp. It's a rather large camp, surprisingly large for the few people that you're seeing here.
Lior will just sort of straighten up and put their hands on their hips and smile around at everyone. Just go, good morning, everyone. My name is Lior. It sure is a pleasure to meet ya. I guess this is probably something we should be getting a bit used to. At least there's some tasty breakfast. Smells great. Can I interest anyone in anything? And I just start helping myself to food. Lior stands about 5'8" or so with short red hair that is kind of wavy, and they're a human in their like mid 40s, early 50s or so, and they've got like scars from like, definitely like being in a lot of fights and stuff in their youth. But they're dressed very simply now, and they are just stuffing their face with whatever protein is available.
It's delicious.
Pleasure.
Very well
Pleasure to meet
spiced.
you.
Oh, and they've got these like little half moon glasses that are like on a chain around their neck, like very like grandparent style.
Well, I guess I would be next. You've probably already heard of me. I'm Olaf Only. I used to be the former front bard for 30-second chemical reaction on Sean. I mean, we used to be like the biggest thing in Sean. But I kind of took up life as a cleric because I was tired of seeing all my friends die. I don't really know what I'm doing here other than being lost. I don't even know where here is. And Olaf is basically, he looks like a snapping turtle. And he's about 6 foot tall and about 400 pounds. But on top of being 6 foot tall, he has another 3 foot tall purple mohawk on his head. And he wears white face paint with black eyes, kind of like the Misfits shirt.
Well, I am Bernard Salamanders. I'm running for president of Corvair. Technically don't have a president, but I'm hoping that can happen. I'm looking to make sure everybody has some kind of cleric care everywhere. And that's what I'm doing. So I hope to get back real soon. You basically just see an old man with scraggly white hair, and he's wearing a suit. It's a nice suit, but it's a little wrinkly here and there.
Does House Jarasco know of this?
It's the beginning of the campaign. We haven't really announced it yet.
Oh, we know everything though.
All right.
Urgrash, who's this large, very tall orc with very utilitarian armor in this half plate. He's got a bunch of like pockets and pouches and bottles kind of strapped to his waist, and a large elven double-ended double-bladed scimitar on his back. He just looks at you, goes, and goes and grabs a bite.
Dear God. So Fen is an elf as far as anybody knows. She's fairly tall, probably a little bit taller than Lior. Has like a light brown, dirty blonde hair that's just like pulled like into a no nonsense like low ponytail. She's got very, very strong brows and like super, super pointy ears. And she has strapped to her back a very large halberd. And she just looks around. She's like, well, this seems kind of weird, but morning. I guess we'll wait until the map's here, but might as well have some food until then. And we'll just go sit down next to Lior, who's just going to town on some protein of questionable origin.
I'll just start adding some onto like Fenn's plate. Like, oh yeah, I mean, you're nothing but skin and bones there, a little miss. Here you go.
Well, thank you.
Getting out of his tent and putting on his sunglasses and his cap and his old detective coat, lighting a cigarette, you see Rex Graves, PI. He's a warforged with a lot of skin going over his face, revealing underneath, the mechanics of his body. Lighting that cigarette, he goes over and goes, "Hey, it's a bit early. Do you have some of that oatmeal? It'd be grand if I can have that, It'd be quite nice to eat something in the morning,
Yeah, if you want some food, there's plenty over here.
Hey, have you got any nutmeg?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't make it. It was just here.
Oh,
This will be some nice porridge with some nutmeg,
we
Gives a
can
bit of
see what we
flavor.
got. I'll just start going through like anything near the fire, like it's like
a
my
small
own.
satchel.
It's not
There's a
mine,
small satchel.
but
Don't worry, I got it. And I just druid craft some nutmeg.
Where's the spice
Hey.
bandolier when you need one?
damn it, I knew
was
it should have been
just about to
Kiki.
say.
It's much appreciated for you. Do you ever need like investigation of, I heard you're trying to run for president. If you want to, someone to find information for you, then here you go. I can do some detective work for you.
I'll get my my campaign head chair to talk to you about that.
No worries, I just pass you a card.
Thank you.
Urgrash takes off his double-bladed scimitar off his back, stabs it into the ground, looks over at our person who greeted us. He goes, "So, what are we searching for?"
Oh, you're referring to Kolak.
Yes.
So the half-orc has made his way off towards the other side of the camp and has disappeared into a tent.
And my perception is obviously a lot lower than my character sheet suggests.
If you want to catch him before he makes his way off, that's fine.
No, it's fine.
Okay. All right. Well, it doesn't really make that much of a big difference because he's headed right back. You hear from the opposite side of town, or of the camp, a large exclamation of surprise, and you hear, "The doctor is slain!
What was that?
Establish a perimeter. I will conduct an investigation, but assure you, do not wander far. I will find out who's responsible."
Do you
Are
want
you
any
sure
help?
it wasn't just a heart attack due to unforeseen heart problems because he didn't have health care?
He
I
is slain.
think we'll take a look at him and make sure he's not really dead. I'm a cleric after all.
Oh, yeah, I think it would be great for anyone
Yeah,
with some.
We
medical
are under
expertise. Now,
It
let's
doesn't really
just.
seem like we're under attack. I mean, if one person's dead, like people die all the time.
If you were under attack, I mean, you would know it. Trust me, I would know. That's for sure. Just my face is like super battered.
I'm just heading towards the tent and just.
He looks
looking around
extremely
waiting.
frustrated that you aren't following orders like his subordinates.
I flash him. I flash him my badge.
Oh, I'm retired. I don't take orders from anyone these days.
I'm looking to be commander in chief. I don't take orders either.
I'll
But
follow Rex.
I'll mosey on over too, just to take a look-see. Still
Hey.
munching some sausage or whatever as I go.
I'll follow Detective Graves.
That's a poor choice, Sam. As you pull
I'm
the
full
tent
of
flat,
them.
you pull the tent flat back into Dr. Morose's tent, and inside there is carnage. It is everywhere. The doctor has been vivisected.
I'm still eating.
I will summon my mage hand because the first rule of investigation is don't contaminate the crime scene. So mage hand.
Mage hand. All right.
And
Excellent.
is there a head?
Yes. Roll me an
I-
investigation, please.
Oh, which
Says to the investigator. This is going to be a
which
39.
I get to roll. I get an advantage. So, which is plus 14. That's a 25.
A 25? What'd you do, Nat 1?
I rolled low.
You're level 18.
My passive investigation is 29. I'm just saying.
Well, okay. Through the course of your investigation, you do find that, well, obviously there are various pieces about the chamber, the inside of this tent. But he's been dead for several hours based on the remains. You can tell that his death was not quick. And the chest at the foot of the bed, and because he actually has a pallet set up in this tent. It's a 4-poster tent with a lighting fixture in the back with candles, and there's a sconce in there. He's got some set of warmth. with a little brazier, and there's a carpet on the floor. All of it is spattered, and the chest at the foot of the bed has been rifled and opened. There are a bunch of torn and smudged papers over on a small table with a stool in front of it. And, excuse me, there appears to be a candelabra on the table that has been knocked over and has burned itself out on the carpet.
So as Rex is investigating, Olaf just kind of walks in. Oh yes, he's clearly dead.
I don't know. We might have to look at it a little bit more. I mean, he could still be alive.
Is that his chest? Oh no, that's a chest. I thought that was his chest at the foot of the bed.
Well, let's be honest. Someone's rifled through both of them anyway.
Do you,
And Olaf will do a medicine check to see if he can figure out exactly what happened.
I'll ask Rex, can you, tell how many, people were in here doing this or anything?
Corey,
DM.
that's 22.
I'm sorry, who rolled a 22?
Olaf on a medicine check for.
Let me resolve the investigation real quick. Yes, you can determine through your investigation that this was likely done based on the spatter patterns by one individual. You cannot really ascertain a whole lot other than that from the immediate crime scene.
It looks like one for now, just one. But I'm still. If I find a head, I have a plan.
No, actually, wait, hold on. Used investigation. So you do find that there has been a slit cut into the seam at the back of the tent behind the desk.
I use Mage Hand just to pull it to one side to look out.
You see the jungle off behind the tent.
Lior, do you mind if you go look just the other side of this flap and see if you find any trails where the culprit went?
Oh, yeah, sure. I can definitely go and see what I can find, do what I can.
Aye, that'll be grand. Ta.
Trot on over. I'll start looking around for any tracks or anything like that.
Okay, please roll me for a survival check. And while you're doing that, Kolok actually makes his way into the tent. Look, he kept a journal. It's got to be around here somewhere. Just find his journal.
Say a dirty 20 survival.
Yes. So on a 20 survival, you can find a small tattered page that is sticking out from, it's been pinned to a tree. It's sort of hidden behind some foliage. And you do find also that the tracks lead out into the jungle, and they appear to be humanoid. But they peter out after about 20 yards. They appear to have been running when they left. These page you find reads as follows. As we set out from Stormreach, I have a sneaking suspicion that we are being followed. I have seen shadows move in the tree line more than once, and it seems the foliage is looking back at me. But when I go to investigate, a pair of berries or a knot in a tree is all that I find. Still, I have heard of the denizens of these parts and do not wish to cross swords with the Volkur. Whoever it is, though, there is nothing to be done for it in this lawless land. I will keep an active eye to our backs and hope whoever it is has more curiosity than malicious intent. I still wonder, why have we not established trade relations with the locals?
Where the footprints end, can I tell if it looks like somebody had, jumped? Do they just end with, no, extra indentation to, indicate what may have caused it to just stop?
It does end on a right footstep, but that's it. There's no signs
That's all
of
I
anything
can
else.
tell.
Yep, that's all you can tell.
All right. Just out of caution, I look up and like see if I notice anything in the trees above us because we're in a freaking jungle.
Okay, yeah. What is your passive?
20.
20. Okay, you do see that there are a significant number of large birds and some monkeys that seem to be moving around. And there's a pod that seems to be hanging from a tree. But as you're looking at it, an ear twitches and you realize it's a very large bat.
Okay. Okay, well, all right. I'll start heading back towards the group with the journal in hand. Well, I found a set of footprints. Looks like they're humanoid-ish, at least. Not too much bigger than mine. And I found this here, but they just stop with no warning, no nothing. It's pretty weird. And I'll pass the journal page around for anyone who wants to take a look at it.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that.
Seems to be torn from a book, obviously, as a journal
is
entry.
there a rest? Did you just find this one, or are there other pages around?
And Kolak takes a look at it. That's marked as the first entry in this journal. If that's been torn out, I fear we must find the rest of the journal. And he begins rifling around and he pulls back a pillow on the bed after about 5 minutes of searching, and he finds a leather binding. In it, there's a folded slip of paper. He pulls it out. He says, "This appears to be very recent. Oh, there's blood smeared on the page. This can't be good." It says, "We awoke today amid the jungle again. I have several people out fetching water and harvesting fruit to replenish the stores as while we can. We are utterly lost. If you are reading this, we have likely perished like so many before us on this treacherous, God-forsaken, cursed land. Like this journal, let this journal be a guide to you and a warning in as much as it can be. In the pages herein, you will find keys to survival and warnings of things you may encounter along your way. Not included in the entries, you may find the below. In the jungle, beware the large cats. They travel in packs. There is a reddish fruit with black pods. Do not eat it. It looks edible, but I assure you, it is quite toxic. There are strangling vines. They will constrict upon stepping on them. Please watch your step." And the blood has smeared across the lower edges of the page, and you see what looks like headings for plains, desert, and icy tundra. But the writing is illegible.
Well, that doesn't bode well. But I mean, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I do not plan on dying here. So, what do we do?
Go ahead, Bernard.
Just gonna say you're not gonna die with Bernard salamanders around, okay? I take care of everyone, all right? You're not gonna die.
Thank you. I can also take care of myself just fine, but I appreciate the backup.
Oh no! Yeah, you don't understand. I understand that everybody has their own self agency and can take care of themselves, and that's no problem. I'm just saying that I'll also help you. It's assistance. Don't worry about it. I got you.
Are you okay? You keep shaking every time you talk. Do you need me to check you and make sure you're okay?
I'm sorry. I'm from an area called Brooklyn in Corvette, and we talk with our hands.
I think that's a dominion of Sharon.
Yes, I was gonna say I've never heard of it before.
Yeah, it's definitely new to me, but all right.
Those on the page, they look like they were once headings. Looks around and kind of sniffs the wind. I could probably get us there.
I was gonna say, does anyone have prestidigitation? You could maybe clean the page.
Oh well, I could do that. I don't know if it'll.
I was more thinking,
Do-
you know, if we wanted to. I don't know where my accent's going.
I mean, I can clean it off, and I'll cast prestidigitation to like clean the blood off the page to see if that does anything.
As you go to do that, you recognize that prestidigitation might clean the ink off the page.
Mm.
The blood has diluted the ink. The ink is no longer stationary.
It's all like smudgy.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, how does prestidigitation know the difference between ink and blood? Like, that makes sense.
Like,
Seems
if you're-
reasonable.
I might be able to find a way to find out what's written on the page, but I need a head of the guy who.
I have a
wrote it.
head.
We all have heads.
Do we have like a head of the guy who wrote the page?
Oh.
It's right
You,
there.
you looked at the body. Does the body have a head? If you're an investigator, you should
Right.
probably have known if there was a head or not.
It's right there on the ground.
All right. I put my hand down near the head, and you see tendrils of my skin come away from my hand and go into every orifice of like the ear, mouth, and eye.
That's
As I
disconcerting.
cast Speak with Dead on the head.
Suddenly, and there is no breath returned as the eyes blast open and stare up at you.
Hi. I'm going to ask you a few questions and you're going to answer them, all right?
And he sort of mouths, to the best of my ability.
Does anyone have observant who can read lips?
I do.
I can. You wrote on this page headings. What's in the plains?
Now, just for a refresher, you get 3 questions, right?
I get up to 5.
Up to 5 questions.
3
Higher
questions.
level. Okay, perfect. All right. Beware the lizards. They're
Beware
small,
the
but
lizard.
they are carnivorous.
Beware of the small carnivorous lizards, okay. What about the tundras?
There are some frozen drow. I do not think they are Volkuri.
Frozen drow, possibly not Volkuri. That's
I am fairly certain they are undead.
undead, that's fine. Did you get a look at who killed you?
And beware the weather. I did not. Was it you?
I don't know. Probably not. And I was like, I'm just looking away from him. Anyone else want to ask him a question? I can do this again if we want to,
Oh.
but just, just if you want
Well.
to ask him a question again.
We're gonna try to find his journal. I could try to track it down, but if it doesn't work, maybe he could just tell us. Maybe he knows.
Can you remember what's in your journal?
Yes, mostly.
Good to know.
Oh,
And
I
as I-
meant where. No, okay.
Wait. It seems foggy.
That's not good. Well,
Why? Where am I?
well, I don't mean to just tell this out of nowhere. You're a little bit, dead. See, and I just turn his head to look at all his blood and gore. And
He's not a little dead. He's a
body.
lot dead.
I'm like, I'm currently like reanimating you, so I can do this again if you want to.
You best be warned. This continent is not what it seems.
All right, that's good to know. Is there anything else you want to tell us before or I can just ask you questions again later? Are you up to that? Are you up to a follow-up interview?
beware the desert.
Beware the
Yes.
desert. All right.
There is no sea.
There is
It is
no
a
sea.
mirage. And the insects are likest to kill you and eat you in front of your friends as they are to trade with you.
That's good to know.
Let me rest.
For now, I'll do a follow-up interview afterwards. All right? Cheerio. And just pull away. And how pocketable is his head?
Well, I mean, he's a half elf. He's got. Well, let me say this. So, from what you can gather, he's a half elf of a younger age, but you can't quite tell how tall he was at the moment. His face is weather worn. He has. You're looking at him. You can see that through deduction, he normally wears glasses, but they are not present. He has a shorn head with short black hair, short cropped black hair, and a hooked nose where it's sort of crooked and then bent back, where he has clearly been in multiple fights. And that's about what you can tell from the head.
All right. I'm gonna get some cloth and wrap the head up in cloth and just put it on my wee belt just in case we need it later.
That's troubling.
So, just follow-up interview.
Yeah, so we got some answers. Does anyone remember why we're all here? Because I don't remember a damn thing.
Right, this has happened once. Everybody, turn out your pockets. Any evidence? If you can't remember the night before, turn out your pockets. You might have evidence.
I look down and I don't have any pockets.
Pull out my pockets, some Werther's Originals, or whatever they are called here.
Fantasy Wyverns Originals.
Wyvern's Originals.
Wyvern's
there you go.
Originals,
Oh,
yes.
Cannon.
Pull off the
Excellent.
freaking shell.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Well,
Oh, can I have one of those?
oh, there you go.
Oh,
Hands
thanks.
you
They're my
over.
favorite.
They are amazing. I mean, I've been looking to have them sponsor my campaign, but they've said no.
Well, keep trying. You can do anything you put your mind to.
well, does anyone have any inkling of what brought you out here? I got to admit, I don't really remember myself.
No, I mean, I've been like traveling around doing adventure type stuff, so probably got contracted by our dearly departed. But yeah, the head formerly known as Dr. Morose.
Ben, the last thing you remember is coming in to harbor on an airship in what you are assuming to be Stormreach.
Well, the last thing I can remember was coming into Stormreach on one of those, on a big airship. But after that, I don't know. Just waking up this morning.
When she says that, the rest of you begin remembering coming into Stormreach through various means, most of them associated with your various houses or the Adventurers Guild that asked you to travel to Xen'drik, but that's it.
You know, I guess you're right. I don't really remember the details, but I know the family had me out here for something. Must have been important to draw me out of retirement for whatever it is.
I now seem to remember that my campaign organizer said to go to Xen'drik for something. I don't remember what. Might have been some kind of a speech I was going to give. I'm not sure.
A speech out here, huh?
Hey, I had this dame come into my office and ask me to come out here for a contract and for some nice money. I just can't even remember her name now. It's like a blur. I light another cigarette.
It said the Warforged.
Yes.
Hey, if you don't have lungs.
My life
Okay.
is dedicated to the hunting of supreme evils that threaten our world. Demons, aberrations. It is likely there's some great evil here.
Have you ever thought about working for a presidential campaign? Because you sound like you would be great for mine.
He just narrows his eyes and goes,
I'm trying to root out all corruption. I'm just saying.
After all this goes on, Olaf kind of pops back out of his shell. I don't have pockets, but I do remember my PR said that maybe there was going to be a reunion tour and that I should come to Xen'drik, maybe to set up one. I don't remember.
Oh,
Okay.
well. Doesn't seem like there's too much necessarily connecting us all. This is quite a pickle we found ourselves in. Ooh, I wonder if there are any pickles left. Go back over to the fire for seconds. Probably like tracking blood like through the mud from checking out the tent.
There are no pickles at the fire, but you do make your way to the supply cart, where you find there is a pickle barrel. If you open it up, you look in and you note that it is almost empty. You would expect, if you're going to bring a barrel of pickles, that it would be a full one. Perhaps the group has been out here longer than anticipated.
Oh, looks like we must have been out here for a while. Seems like we might be running low on rations. I say, eating with like no like regard or concern for that situation.
Kolak comes running over. Lior, no, we have to ration our foods. If we're going to be out here, that's why breakfast was so small. I understand you were hungry, but look around you. We could starve. Do you know where we are? I don't.
Say pretty good point there. Sorry about that. I mostly just do this out of habit anyway. I don't even really need this, and I'll just put the half the pickle like right back because I do have timeless body where I don't need food or water.
Just doing it for the lulz.
Kinda. I just miss it sometimes.
I go over to him and goes, "Hey lad, you seem to know a bit more than we do. How long have you been out here?"
Roll a persuasion check.
Alright.
Or intimidation, or...
Doesn't really matter. So low. Oh,
Yeah,
18.
Rex, you seem like an up-and-up fellow. I want to make sure that we're all on the same page here, but I've got an investigation to conduct. I don't know what happened to Dr. Morose, and I keep my own journal, and my journal says that Dr. Morose is the head of the expedition. It says, I'm sorry, what was your role?
18.
Okay. It says that I don't really want to. This is not going to look favorably on me, to put it this way, but there was tension between myself and Dr. Morose. I do not remember what happened yesterday,
I don't.
but there seems to be something. My sentries have gone missing.
That's not good. And
All of them. In multiple waves.
That's very not good.
We have nobody on patrol right now.
That's exceptionally not good.
But how is it that you remember everything?
I'm reading my notes. I remember nothing before this morning.
Seems kind of odd that none of us would have started taking notes if these things were happening.
You may very well have. I can't tell you if somebody's taken your notes. I sleep with mine in my shorts.
Yeah, nobody probably wants to go in there.
Want to start digging through my pack, looking for, letters to my kids I may have been writing. I'm like throwing balls of yarn like over my shoulder, digging through it.
Interesting.
My bag is like definitely like a big kind of like grandma style bag, by the way. Like,
Is it a big style grandma bag of holding?
Carpet bag?
No, it is just a carpet bag.
As you're pulling out these everything from your bag, and you start throwing things over your shoulder, your hand reaches into the bag, and you find a crumpled piece of paper. You pull it out and unfurl it, and at the top it says journal entry number 3.
Oh.
Dun dun dun.
We lost a sentry patrol sometime during the night. There were no signs of violence on their route, but it was completely devoid of any markers. Perhaps they were taken. Perhaps the patrol was taken. Worst case here, I fear, is that they may not have been attacked, but that they may have deserted us in this wilderness. The rest of the sentries are reluctant to patrol, and we'll make up for the missing shift. Sorry.
It's the rare jungle baby bird.
Yep.
Yep.
I will hunt it.
They make that sound to lure you in so that they can kill you.
Had to grab a blanket from the crib over here.
It's just ambiance. Don't worry.
The rest of the sentries are reluctant to patrol and will need to make up their missing shift. Their sleep deprivation and fear will lead to paranoia if left unchecked. I think it best if we cease patrols and provide a morale boost by doubling the rations for a few days. I wonder if they encountered whatever it is that makes this place so hard to map.
I'll be right back.
I take it this was the same like handwriting as the other journal pages.
It
right?
is, and it is torn from it's made of the same paper with the same handwriting.
And we got a piece of binding, you said, right?
There is the binding from the book, and there was only one page remaining in it, which was journal entry number 8.
I'll just sort of shrug and see if I can take a look at that binding, and I'm just gonna go ahead and cast locate object to see if I get any pings with it, because why not?
Yeah, you do, in fact.
It's within 1,000 feet, if you know.
Yeah, so you actually find that there are several instances of this throughout here in the camp, the jungle.
Oh.
All over the place.
Oh, we got a couple of pages around, and I'll just sort of start like directing everybody to where I like sense them while it's up, because it only lasts for 10 minutes there.
I could thinking last.
I do what I can.
Corey,
Mm-hmm.
we got a donation
Oh my.
for Bernard to have amnesia.
So as you're all making your way out into the jungle, Bernard, you find a large pink blossom. It's almost a foot across. It has maroon stamen with little yellow buds on the end. And as you sort of lean in to take a closer look, it slaps closed right in your face. And a large puff of pollen catches you.
Uh-oh.
You stumble back and look around, and you can't remember your name. You can't remember where you are, how you got here.
Where am I? What's going on here? Oh, Whiffin's Originals. These are delicious. Where am I? Who are you people?
And I'm sorry, what is your character race?
Half elf.
Half elf. Okay, so you would be speaking what language?
I mean, well, I can speak Common, Druidic, Elvish, and Primordial.
Okay, so it's your childhood language, whichever one was your childhood language.
Well, I grew up as a druid, so Druidic.
You're mumbling in Druidic.
I have Tongue of Sun and Moon and can understand any language and also be understood by anyone.
Convenience.
Freaking monks, man.
Yeah, just stomping, just flurry of blows and all your plans away, Corey.
You know what?
Not
you
at
know
all.
what? Sophia Alzarla just made a great point. He can speak to the common man.
Oh, that is so
oh my
good.
god, I can't even with this shit. Oh my
Corey, I got a
god.
17 on my death save.
Wait, what?
That's a
Oh,
fail.
I'm just gonna choose to fail.
I'm guessing nobody else can understand Bernard as he's like yelling this, though.
I don't think anyone
What's
speaks
he
Druidic.
Be like, Bernard, you all right?
As Bernard turns around and raises his hand to speak, you hear a sort of like a whistling hum come out of the jungle, and 3 red flecks appear up the side of from his chest, going up the side of his neck. I need a 3 Constitution saves from Bernard.
Oh no.
Oh god.
First one's
down.
14.
Oh, bless your heart.
Uh-huh.
Second one's 17. And the third one's 7.
Oh,
Yep.
oh no.
Oh dear.
Ruh-roh.
Suddenly you get extremely drowsy. You've got about 5 seconds before you collapse. What do you say?
And
Feel the burn.
Let him die.
Yeah,
Leave
just
him where
leave
he
him in the
lies.
jungle forever.
We got a
Urgrosh.
journal to find.
Urgrosh is going to take out his sword, kind of hunch forward, and put a finger on his neck and make that medicine roll of like 20 something.
He is stable,
22.
snoring and drooling.
So Urgrosh is going to look at this group and say, unfortunately, he's alive.
I'm gonna.
Well, the day is still young.
I'm gonna summon my Hellfire gun. Just because I've been seeing him going down, like just summoning it ready. Because I'm a crack investigator.
As Bernard
Millionaires,
sort of
billionaires.
collapses, as Bernard collapses back into the bushes, from behind the flower falls this page, a journal entry page.
Oh hey.
Ooh.
He did something. He did something helpful.
Old failure with a success.
Can you read it? Can you read it aloud so we
It
can all know
basically
what's
falls
going on?
right into Urgrosh's lap.
Oh well. I'd also just like to be looking around for where those things came from.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that does.
Urgrosh is just going to hand it to Detective Graves.
Thanks a lot.
All right, so are you reading it or are you looking in the jungle?
I can do both because I have a robe of eyes.
That's amazing.
That is awesome.
I'm looking in the
Well
jungle.
chosen.
I am
And
also looking at the jungle.
I can read all writing.
I'm gonna keep looking about for journal pages because Leor had pointed some out in the nearby vicinity.
Also,
And I'm sleeping.
I can also see invisible creatures, objects, and seen to the ethereal plane up to a range of 120 feet.
But very important question: is your robe of eyes a trench coat?
It's a trench coat with and my police badge is an eye in a star.
right.
Do they
Good,
all
good.
look like Illuminati eyes? Because
You're
that's
really-
kind of what I'm picturing.
You're really putting
Basically.
the I in PI.
All the buttons are little
Bernard.
eyes, and
Bernard, roll for me a d4.
Trace.
All right, you are going to be asleep for 6 minutes.
All right.
All right. It's not a super powerful toxin, but you're
We
asleep.
got 6 minutes to get stuff done.
I'm dreaming
kinda
for
like-
healthcare. I'm dreaming of healthcare for all. That's all. That's all I'm dreaming about.
Can
oh,
I
but
try
do
to
you
like?
remember too?
Oh
You dream of a utopia in which everyone is happy and lives forever.
Sounds
Oh
awful.
shit! Everyone's living forever. I don't like some of these people. Most of them. This is not good.
Okay. Got my vote. All right. Okay, so next, so Rex is going to be reading the journal entry. Xen'drik thus far has been like many other jungles. I found an odd specimen of flower with a most peculiar effect. At first scent, I immediately forgot where I was and why I was holding the flower. Luckily, it was not in full pollen, and I recovered quickly. But a note on the future: beware of the large pink star flower with the maroon stamen. I've taken a sample in a jar and stored it in my satchel. I wonder if this is related to the inability to map this forsaken land.
Just don't worry. It's just avoid the flower that Bernard looked at. Don't breathe it in. They don't smell good.
Easy enough. Maybe we all sniffed in. That's why we don't remember anything either.
Is it a poison? DM, is it a poison?
It is a toxin, actually. Yeah, it would be a pollen.
Immune.
Same.
High-level campaigns.
Also that.
I've never felt less impressive.
I guess that it's not the pollen.
Just also FYI, Corey, if it matters, I have the effects of the sanctuary spell on me if we just woke up from a long rest. Just, should it come up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where'd it go? I just scrolled away from
If someone tries to hit them, they have to roll a save first.
And if they fail, they have to attack somebody else instead.
Freaking monks.
I'm the best.
OP.
I love high-level campaigns.
I'm still scanning around the jungle.
Yes, illustrious dragon manager. I'd like to try to visually trace where those projectiles came from, and kind of look in that direction.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
Insight?
Insight or perception?
You're trying to intuit something based
Maybe
on an
investigation?
observation. Well, you would need something to actually investigate, like this, it'd have to be
like the direction of the darts.
Yeah.
I'm calling it insight. I'm calling it insight. You're
I'm good at insight. I don't care.
I have a passive insight of 21.
Well, 30.
30. Yeah, you can see exactly where they came from. It's very clear to you if he fell this way and it struck in that angle and you saw the flash, so you're going to intuit that it came from over there, a little bit to the northwest-ish. You don't really know which direction northwest is, but it's that way, over from behind that tree, maybe about 15 feet up.
I'm going to fly over there very quickly. And say in Elvish, Parlay Huntsman.
Okay.
I'm making a guess here.
Yeah. There's no immediate reply.
That's fine. There anything to see there, though?
Please roll me an investigation.
31.
Yeah. So you can tell, based on there's some moss torn away from the bark in one place. It could be natural. It could have been from the wind, but you're fairly sure that looks like it's in a straight line across the bark. That's probably the sole of someone's boot. Very hard to tell, though.
Could I maybe use survival to track this individual?
Please do.
Scout Rogue. Okay. That's a pretty good number. That's a 34.
Yeah, you could have used survival to if you have survival instead of investigation. But either way.
They're similar numbers.
You can tell that they climbed down the tree to this location, whoever it was, and then they've gone back into the canopy.
I look down at Lior and kind of just point upwards with my sword, and then I start slowly ascending that direction.
please ascending by flight, right?
Yeah, correct.
So the canopy gets denser and denser as you make your way up. There are various vines going across your path, various sort of like witch's beard coming down, as you can see here.
Oh, that's cute. It's pretty.
So
like it.
it's getting also wetter and wetter as you make your way up.
Oh,
Um,
were you like motioning for Lior to like join you, or just like
Yeah.
pointing?
Minimally, but yeah.
Okay. I'll just look around the others, be like, okay, well, I guess I'll go be right back. Nobody go wandering off on your own, okay? And keep his face out of the mud. Let's say to like Bernard, and I'll just take off and run up the tree because I can run up vertical surfaces.
Monk.
And as everything starts getting denser, I'll just sort of start like parkouring anime style up the branches to catch up with Erdgrosh.
Urgrosh's answer to the density is to take his, double-ended blade thing and just start spinning it and
Yep.
mulching
So both of you,
through the
please roll for me
vegetation.
a dex save, as when Urgrosh, you clip a vine and everything around you begins contracting violently towards other trees.
28.
And- excellent.
All right. Well, danger sense gives me advantage on this.
Didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's good.
All right. 21.
21. So both of you managed to cling on to something stable as the vines around you that seem to have been obscuring your path before immediately just like quickly contract a lot faster than you would expect in foliage.
I'll reach down and grab Lior so they don't just fall to the ground as there's nothing to run up anymore.
Oh, thank you there, friend.
All right.
That was unexpected.
Was pretty neat, though. So
Your
how?
character would recall the warning of the vines in the journal entry.
Right.
Number 8.
I just remember those being on the ground, though.
Oh yeah, I guess it's just good to keep in mind. I guess not really familiar with jungle terrain. I mean, I'm from the city.
I'm used to forests, but not like this.
Y'all all right up there?
I think they're dead.
Are you dead?
Like
Olaf thinks you're dead.
just a ball of yarn comes like falling from my pack.
Urgrosh just curses in Orcish once.
All right,
You
I
might be
think,
dead.
I mean, unless that's Orcish for I'm dead, I'm pretty sure at least one of them's alive. So there's that. We're
There's
probably
one way to find out. Does anyone know Fireball?
I do. I used it for pyrotechnics.
I actually need both Nat and Sam, Urgrosh and Lior, please. What are your armor classes?
never a good
19,
question.
but I will say I cannot be surprised.
My AC is 22.
So if someone's going to attack me, I could roll initiative against them.
Sure. Please roll initiative then, as we enter combat.
Oh, actually, and if depending on how
you
high
can blame Nat for this one, guys.
depending
I
on
was
how
trying to
high
avoid
up
it going
Damn you
into
nuts.
initiative, but
they are, Corey, anyone within 30 feet of me also cannot be surprised. So if Lior is within 30 feet, they are not surprised either.
Slick.
they're probably more than.
I was gonna
30
ask
feet
how
off the
high up
tree.
are
Yeah,
we?
how
I don't
high
They're
up?
know.
probably 70, 80 feet up into the.
All right,
Okay.
just kidding, can't help you there.
canopy.
No, that's okay. Yeah.
But yes, so you are on the ground, Fen, and everybody on the ground will not be able to be surprised. So it would actually seem that Lior is the only one capable of being surprised. Except for Bernard Salamanders, who is automatically surprised.
He's just having a little nap. That's all.
Did you need-
Unconsciousness will do that to you.
He's old.
All right,
He's old.
so
He needs to take
please,
naps.
everybody, put your initiative into the Zoom chat.
I got advantage on that. What?
Nice.
Thank you, Halberd.
How did the sleeping person get a better initiative than me?
I'm just that good at getting initiatives.
Rolled an 18 and a 19. Life is
Need
good.
one more. Who am I missing?
That's me.
There we go. Okay, so Urgosh, that is going to put you.
Oh, beat me by that much.
Tied actually for one, so I will give you the up on the initiative on that.
Do I see what is causing me to be startled?
You do
Startled.
actually. You note a leaf off to your left, some 45 yards or so away, a long ways out. It pulls to the side, and a tube comes out. And you can see a dark face with white stripes on it launch something in your direction. It appears to be red and green.
I will fly to them.
So you can't be surprised.
Which means they go to attack, I get to act first because I beat them initiative.
Okay.
I'm just gonna fly to them, chucking Leor lightly onto a nearby branch. That might cause bad things, but that's okay. And I'm just gonna get right up next to them and go, in Elvish, I would rather you didn't.
Okay. What's your armor class?
Well, I still have a turn after that. I'm just trying to see how they react.
They don't respond to you in any way.
Okay, then I will rage and hit them 3 times. Oh, sorry, twice. I have to spend a bonus action to rage.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you've moved and so
Bonus action rage.
Yep.
I'm gonna reckless attack. 24 hit,
Yeah, that'll hit.
and the follow up is higher.
Okay.
I'm going to, if I down them, make this non-lethal.
Oh, that's a good important distinction right there.
Well, I do declare who does unlethal attacks as a barbarian.
Hey, I'm more rogue than barbarian.
Okay, just take the average damage.
I just rolled it. It'll be fine.
I want to try and keep this moving as quickly as possible.
$48.
48 non-lethal damage. Yeah. So you just thwop this guy upside the head with what?
It is a double-bladed scimitar.
That you
I'm
just
Darth Mauling him.
use the flail. You just use the flat of your double-bladed scimitar, smacking this guy upside the head, who immediately bounces his head off the tree. His eyes go a little bit, circles, stars around the head for a moment, and he begins to fall from the tree. Please roll for me a dex if you are going to use your second attack to catch them. Otherwise, they are going to fall from the tree.
Yeah, I'll try. The dex save, dex check, athletics.
Check.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't think that does it.
Acrobatics.
I don't think that's a. Well, it's a check. I have rabble talent, so I get at least a 10. So that's a 12.
Negative. The individual slips right from your grasp, leaving white body paint all over you, as this black-skinned elf falls from the tree to the ground 80 feet below.
Can I try to catch him? I'm next in the initiative.
45 was 45 yards off, so it's going to be just about 135 feet away.
Can I
horizontally?
Yeah, hell no.
That's a lot of movement horizontally.
I can bring him back to life if he dies.
It's 86 failed death save. It'll be
I
fine.
I can bring him
probably.
back to life if he dies.
Corey,
And
how
if
far
not-
away is he?
Or
It's
heal
about
him.
135 feet away.
Okay.
I'm just going to say, for the sake of expedience, that he hits the ground as you come running up on him, Fen.
Yeah.
But next, I've got to have Lior's AC.
22.
Okay, so
Damn.
that will not hit. 3 darts slam into the tree next to you.
Oh, that wasn't very nice.
All right. And then we can move on to Fen. That should have been resolved technically before Urgrosh, but because it was a surprise.
Well,
Yeah.
Wait, technically no, because the way the mechanics work, but
It's fine. They missed
Okay.
anyway. Nothing happened.
Yep. Fen.
I'm gonna run towards the person who fell out of the tree, and just shout up and be like, "Y'all okay up there?"
I'll
Oh.
follow Ben.
Just Peachy, I think. Watch out. There's more, did you say, Corey, right? Or
There were more.
All right. I want.
Unless those came from the same individual.
I would like to, in whatever order this works in, if I wanted to cast Hold Person on the person that fell, should I give them HP first and then hold them, or can I hold them and then bring them back and they'd be held when they got revived? Or does it
So
not work that way?
Hold person wouldn't hold them aloft. It
No,
would
I mean
keep them-
I want to keep them from running away once I give them hit points back.
not take
I
the time
see.
to tie them up.
You
and-
can
Right.
still target unconscious creatures.
So
with
if I were to
spells.
cast Hold Person on them, they would fail because they're unconscious.
now
Then
they get a save normally.
yeah,
Because it's
it-
not strength or dex.
yeah,
it's not like
strength or dex.
disadvantage or anything.
I
even
will
if they're
say-
even if they're unconscious.
because their mind is still able to actively
Oh.
resist, even
Okay,
if they're
so
unconscious.
I would, just for the record, I would say that even if them being unconscious with hold person and all of that, when they strike the ground, they're not going to be able to resist and they're going to take the full damage of the fall.
no, that's fine.
Yeah.
I can give them hit points back. I just don't want them to be able to run away once I give them hit points back, because I can heal them as a bonus action.
Yeah, she's not trying to make them.
I'm
look-
not trying to
Yeah.
keep them from
There.
falling. I'm
She
just
wants
trying to
she wants
keep
to
them.
No,
hit the
absolutely.
ground.
Yeah.
To be clear, this individual is unconscious because Nat exceeded their maximum hit
Yeah, yeah.
points. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I want all right, then I'll just heal them and then I'm gonna cast Hold Person on them.
yes, because otherwise they're going to exceed double their negative hit points and
Well,
fail
Hold
death
Person doesn't
saving
cause
throws.
damage.
I understand that.
All right,
But they'll
so
just be dead
all right,
if
so
they hit
I'm
the
gonna
ground.
I'm gonna give them 10 hit points,
Mhm.
and then they need to make a Wisdom saving throw.
So they regain consciousness on the fall,
Oh,
and
Jesus.
that is only going to be an 11 for the saving throw.
Yeah, that fails. They're held. No, Hold Person. The people in the one shot can be held, but for once, Hold Person works.
Yeah, they hit the ground and immediately fall back into unconsciousness. So they're in the tree. They're going to launch these darts, and then suddenly, this, I'm sorry, Urgrosh is
Big orc.
big orc. That's what I thought with a name like Urgrosh. Comes flying over them and whacks them right upside the head. Rings their bell. They go falling unconscious, wake up mid-fall, and then smack straight into the ground, unable
Wait,
to
what
brace
if I-
for impact.
What if I'd want to heal them after they hit the ground? I want them to be conscious and held.
Okay, you can do that hold person while they're falling and
Yeah.
then heal them after they hit.
Yeah.
That's completely fine.
I don't want him to be unconscious. I want him to be conscious and know that they're held by me, who's holding them.
Okay,
But
so
but
so
conscious.
the drow individual is laying there on the ground,
Mhm.
cannot move. You can see that they've got some broken limbs and are unable to try and straighten them, get up and run away or anything. Not that
Thank
they
you.
necessarily would have been able to with their legs twisted at those angles.
We can fix that if we want. All right, and that's my turn.
Okay. All right. Next is going to be we've got Leor and Bernard both with 16s. Who has
Yeah, but
the
we're in the surprise round, and both of us are surprised, so we can't do anything.
No, actually,
Bernard can,
you're in the
I
30-foot
can't.
race. Yeah, and this isn't the surprise round. I was resolving that because Sam would have been the only one that was actually surprised. But Leor's initiative now comes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So we're out of I gotcha. You can go first if you want to, Bernard, because I already kind of had a thing.
You're right. I'll go first. So what I do is, that's my turn.
Okay.
I forgot you're asleep.
Someone should probably kick him.
Does he get like a save or
I'm on it.
anything? No.
I'm on it. Don't worry.
We already went over
sad.
that. It's just 6 minutes of me asleep.
Unless
right.
someone tries to rouse him.
So we don't. So if I look around, do I see where the other people went, or do I see anyone else?
You see where Urgrosh just smacked this individual, and you know that there were 3 more darts that came at you. Do you want to try and figure out where they came from? Do you want to fly down and run down and try and help your party? What would you like to accomplish?
I want to spend time looking to see if I see anybody else, any other potential enemies while I'm up in the trees.
All right, roll me a perception. Active.
$23.
Yeah, okay, so you can tell where the darts came from that struck the tree next to you. And you can actually tell that the feathers on the darts actually look like they came from the large birds that you saw flying around here.
Oh.
And they look to be a quill of something. There's a faint smell in the air that's a little bit similar to the flower that struck, or that Bernard took a sniff of. And you see across the way a blowgun still sticking out from the edge of behind a tree.
Oh, if I have any way to zip on over there, I'd like to do that. And
it is about 50 feet horizontally, and there are vines that have been entangled with one another up in the canopy that are now taut like a spider's web.
Okay. So does what like kind of effect does that have in terms of my movement? Would that give me like difficult terrain, I guess, or?
Nope. For a monk, I think that you're not even going to have any difficulty with it. I would just say I need an acrobatics check.
Okay. Oh, that's a nat 20, yo.
Yeah. Yeah. You run along
31.
some of the vines, grabbing another, swinging around the base of a tree or the trunk of a tree, and Tarzan your way over there, flinging off of branches, and you find yourself face to face with this drow hanging from this from the trunk of another tree.
Oh, I'd like to just go. Hey there, that was pretty rude, and I'd like to punch him.
Good old-fashioned negotiations, monk negotiations.
Hey, he started it. Oh, I rolled like junk, but that's still a 15 there.
That will not hit.
Darn close enough. I get another attack, so I'll do it again.
He's wearing sort of like what appears to be the carapace of some sort of arthropod.
Ooh, 18?
Yeah, sort of pointy studded bits coming out of it. An 18 will hit.
Awesome. Okay. Wait, no, wrong die. Hang on. That's not how that works. It's gonna be 14 magical damage.
All right.
And I'm going to, because I am an open hand monk. Oh wait, no, never mind. I've got a flurry for that, I think. Sorry, level 18. I haven't played this high before. Or the subclass, actually. This is my first open hands monk. Okay, so yeah, I'll go ahead and yeah, I'll keep point again just to a flurry of blows and hit some more. Let's see what we got. Oh, that's even higher. That's like a 20-something to hit.
Yeah.
And that is a 10 magical bludgeoning damage. And I'm going to impose this drow cannot take a reaction until the end of my next turn.
Very nice.
And that's not like a save or anything. It just happens.
All right, and you just get one strike on that flurry.
So for now, but I'm gonna take my second attack, my second flurry too, because that's just part of the hit. That's a 17 on the die. 13 magical bludgeoning.
Okay, with that third strike, you come in and you give him a right cross and get his head spinning. Then your knee comes up and meets his chin and bounces it off the tree. And then your right leg catches him with an ankle kick and kicking him away from the tree. And you see as he begins to tumble out of the canopy.
Oh, I hit him a little too hard that time. Can I try to grab him, or is he like too far? Did I hit him too hard?
Give me an acrobatics check.
23.
23. You do. You catch him by his hair. He has a single long braid coming off the back of his head, and you grab it, and he slams into the tree below you. Please roll for me a strength just to see if you can stop their descent.
Strength?
Yeah.
Just a straight check?
Yeah.
That's just an 11.
That's enough. It's just pass fail. So you manage to catch him, and they slam into the base of the trunk, and you hold on, and you have captive.
Oh, I'd say sorry for that rough landing there, but I wouldn't mean it. And that'll be my turn.
All right. Next in initiative order, we have Rex.
So I'm assuming I'm with Bernard, and I don't know. I want to kind of just slap him across the face with my gun and see if they wake him up.
Actually, yes. As soon as you make contact, he sort of begins to rouse.
Quick question: would that count as a sneak attack?
Yes.
But you don't have to do it.
I'm good. You can wake up. Get up, man! Can you say we're under attack? You're gonna make no good president if you're sitting on your ass all day. And I'm gonna help him up. So
do I know who this man is?
Nope.
Yeah. Who are you? What the hell is going on here?
I'm your vice president. Get up.
Oh, okay.
Senator Salamanders, how did you choose your vice president?
Pistol whip.
Pistol whip. Yeah. Well, he pistol whipped me when I was sleeping, and I decided, if somebody's going to do that, it's going to be helpful.
Oh, Meghan. Oh, no.
President of
Vices. That's so good.
That's great.
Wow. I think we have a little more insight into who Rex is now. Okay, so.
And that's all I'm going to do. Just get him up.
Yep. Okay, that's good. Yeah. And then next we are going to have.
He puts a Werther's a Wyvern's original into your mouth.
Olaf.
So Olaf's gonna go. He sees Finn take off into the jungle, so he's gonna go try to help with anybody that's hurt. So go darting off into the jungle.
Okay, towards the first one that hit the ground?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. And you can get just about there with your significant movement. It's a long ways away, but you managed to get there. And at that point, we are going to exit initiative. You have 2 captives. One of them... Now that you look at it, Leor, that captive's not alive. That's not just unconscious. That's dead.
Oh, okay. And then I drop it.
Oh God, where did that come from?
Oh, look out down there.
You guys are getting
raining man.
You guys are getting ready to talk to this one, and out of nowhere, body falls over in the woods.
And I'll just sort of cool, surf down the tree trunk, slow fall style. I think that's all. That's the only one left that I found, at least.
Meghan, I think you were muted there.
I am. A bit. You said y'all were okay up there, and you're just throwing people at us.
Yeah, because we were okay.
All right, fair enough. I want to walk up to the person that's held, He'll be like, you want to explain why y'all are attacking us? I can heal you more. Your legs are all busted up.
While you're doing this, he begins shouting in, well, it's Volkuri. Does anybody speak Drow? Like, we'll use Undercommon.
Just Elvish. If he writes it down, I could read the writing.
Same.
And I'm gonna ask. I have amnesia, but do I at least know what my magic items do?
You know everything mechanically about your character. You do not know who is around you, and you do not know where you are, where you've been. And this goes like, you don't remember your parents, you don't remember your childhood, you don't remember anything.
Okay, well then, since I do know that,
temporary effect. Don't worry, this is a temporary effect.
Since I do know that at least, and being confused and then now not understanding this guy, I tap on the helmet I'm wearing, which allows my hair to come out of it all weird and everything like that, and cast comprehend languages on myself.
I also forgot I can understand everything.
Yeah, you understand everything.
But this way, like, multiple people can speak. So.
Okay, well, I will say that the party is gathered now near this broken drow that is laying at the base of a tree and being held by Meghan, currently being held by Fen, excuse me. Is shouting in Undercommon.
And any of y'all understand?
Oh, yeah, more or less.
I understand what he's saying. Also, my vice president, who are these people?
Right, that's your Chamber of Commerce over there. You got your head of the armed forces, your head of Department of Health over there, and your Department of the Interior. All right.
I don't know who you pointed at, but I feel like I should probably be insulted.
It's good to know that you are all my cabinet. I trust you implicitly. Now, what is this guy saying? What's going on here?
All right, so far it's just profanities and pain and mostly death threats.
He appears to be hurt, and thus he is cursing. So I'm just gonna walk over to him and tap my staff on him and cast the first level cure wounds into him.
I'll give him a little something.
You watch his bones knit before you, and he straightens, and you can see
10 hit points.
I gave him 3, so clearly I care less.
Broken spine, which is the 3 hit points that Fen heals, of course.
Hey, I kept him alive. I brought him back. I brought him back to this side of consciousness. So you're welcome.
So he seems to be somewhat less distressed at this point, but he looks at you with a glare of hatred.
Just kneel down in front of him. I will note, I can comprehend languages. I don't speak them, so I would be speaking common to him. I go, are you all right? I was giving you some health care. You seemed like you needed it. What's going on here? They actually haven't told me much.
Was it free?
It was free health care. I did not pay. He did not pay for it.
Yet.
Well, he begins spouting something back to you to the effect of, "Get your waggling devil tongue out of my face."
I can speak in Elvish if you'd like. I mean, I speak Elvish. Does this work? Does this at least help a little bit? Is it make it a little bit better?
I do not understand you.
What about Primordial? Do you understand Primordial? Okay, he seems to be very difficult to talk to. He doesn't like common. Does anybody actually speak his language, like with words?
Oh, I don't speak it, but they should still be able to understand me. What do you want to know? I can give it a try.
All right, Sam. As you begin sort of attempting to communicate with this individual, would you please make a social skill for me, whichever you like? Would you?
Just for the record, charisma is my dump stat.
Yeah.
Well,
charisma's my second highest stat. Because I'm a politician.
I was like, charisma's my highest stat, but I cannot speak the language.
With the minus there, that's a 2.
A 2.
Are we going on to aggressive negotiations?
Was that?
That was persuasion.
Persuasion.
It would have been better if I went for deception, but that's not like Leora's thing right now. So.
Yeah, that you're pretty sure you have persuaded him to not say anything further.
Oh, I think he's just shy there. I can see if we can try to get him talk a little bit more, and I'll just crack my knuckles and
Okay.
like push my glasses up my nose.
All right. So is that going to be an intimidation?
I mean, I wasn't trying to like make like 2 back-to-back rolls for like that. I don't want to
Okay.
be like cheesy. That's just role play flavor.
Fair.
Corey,
Alright.
Olaf would
Mhm.
like to go over to the dead one, and
Mhm.
he's going to say a prayer to the keeper.
Okay. Will that be gentle repose?
Let me double check.
We'll come back to that.
Yeah, gentle repose.
Okay, gentle repose. Excellent. So yeah, the body looks very composed, and
Is it in a talking mood?
well, he just cast gentle repose on it, so I'm not sure if you can cast anything of like.
It just has a corpse.
Yes, I'm going purely off memory here, so I could be completely wrong. I thought gentle repose stopped you from being able to cast speak with dead or resurrection or a number of other things onto a body.
No, it stops bodies from decaying and they cannot be brought back as an undead for 10 days.
As undead. Okay.
I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna phrase it like that. I'm gonna go talk to the corpse.
Okay.
Just fingers out, rooting around the corpse. Speak with dead.
You see a gasp and an open jaw as he comes back from beyond, and his eyes have gone completely white, and the paints and everything are flecking off. Several disjointed bones are protruding from shattered flesh.
Hello, you're dead. Can you answer some questions for us?
And that includes an ability to understand what they're saying, as I recall.
I only know the corpse only knows what knew in life, including the languages it knew.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, exactly. So, since you don't know its language,
Can you have someone else ask it a question? Or does the spell require you ask it?
Good point. Anyone can ask the question. Oh, I can ask the corpse 5 questions. Damn. Well, you're dead. Goodbye. I'm just gonna pull my fingers out.
You get the impression that the reply is "Thanks for telling me," as he fades back into the night. Okay, so Leor, please do make an intimidation roll for me.
question. Did the other guy see that his friend was dead? Does it look like he had vision
Yeah,
of that?
I'll say that he was aware of him falling out of the tree.
Damn.
Could I assist Leor by looking terrifying?
Absolutely, being
Thank you.
All right, I'll pull out, my blade and I'll start sharpening
Much
it while looking at
better.
him.
17.
17. Yeah,
Yeah,
that will.
instead of a 3.
Cash money, y'all.
He confesses that the poison darts were not lethal, and yes, he did launch them, and it was not supposed to be something violent, but more to subdue while they verify your intentions. And he explains that your food supply is running low, and it is partially their fault.
Oh.
Oh,
And tells you that they have collected the remaining journal entries, and they're in his pack.
oh, does he have the pack on him?
He does not.
Oh, I'll turn to the party and be like, well, I claims that the darts weren't really meant to be lethal or anything. They just wanted to, I guess, knock us out. And I'll jerk my thumb over at Bernard. But they've definitely been spying on us for a while, and he's saying here that our low rations are kind of his fault, and that they've got some more journal pages, but it's not on him. It's in his pack, wherever that is. Where's your pack, friend? I say to this like beaten up drow.
You did cast locate object, and you can sense it off in the woods.
It's concentration and only lasts 10 minutes. I'm gonna say
Oh.
I wasn't still concentrating on it.
I see.
I think it's been more than 10 minutes anyway by now. That was a while ago.
He looks as though he's trying to move his arm to point, but he can't.
I mean, how well might I remember where the like sort of pings and stuff were?
I'd say that you have you recognize that you knew where the one with the flower was, and you recall that there was another ping off in the woods, up in a tree, somewhere in the direction above you, but just a little bit off and towards that direction. There's a sort of a mass of branches over there. You can't really tell what it is, but it looks like there might be a nest there or something.
I'll point that out to our prisoner and my companions and be like, I think it might be that way.
Well, we can probably head that way then. I mean, we can. They're probably fine to just like leave here. I mean, I can dispel the spells, so they'll be able to move around and stuff. But
I mean, do we want them to? I'll just like motion.
I can do that, you know, so he can't wake up afterwards as well.
Ooh.
Well,
you mean kill him?
Yeah, but making sure he can't be resurrected afterwards either.
Oh.
he's been useful. We should let him go.
I'm with my Secretary of Agriculture here. I think that's exactly what we should do.
And I made his friend so he could take him back, so that he could get him raised by their shamans.
Oh, well, it's, whatever you lot really want to do. I'm not too worried, I guess, with this one, but we don't really know what's going on, so I'm a little wary. I just like letting them go.
I don't want someone to come back and stab us in the back. It's about a certain dominance.
If you just kill your prisoners after they give you what you want, then the questioning was disingenuous.
Right.
He's got a point.
But like, who cares?
I'll start flying towards the nest.
I'll just give the drow like a non-lethal punch to like try to knock him out again.
Yeah, he's still prone, and you have advantage on melee. And
Just pop, pop.
yeah, he just goes back to sleep. Gently back to sleep.
Yes, super gently. Oh, sweet dreams.
Or does he rage against the night?
Always.
Okay.
His name is Dylan Thomas.
Urgrosh, you fly towards this, it's almost like a sphere of foliage. It's not really like a tree. It seems constructed. And as you get closer, you note that there are vines interwoven together around this sort of polyhedral, in fact, dodecahedron shaped nest almost, with an opening in one side. And as you come into it, you find that there's it's a domicile. I mean, this is somebody lives here. There's a small fire pit in the middle of the floor that is sitting on a stone that has been painstakingly carried up into the canopy. There are cots lining the edges of the room, and storage hanging from nets in the ceiling. And there you find a good portion of rations.
Wonder if I could retire here.
There is a pack sitting next to the fire on the ground.
All right, I'll grab the pack, look into it for papers.
You do find a small sheaf of papers that look much like the previous journal entries that were found.
I'll give the rest of the bag a quick once over, but I'm not looking to like steal stuff. I'm just like, is there anything else that would be like evidence?
Okay.
You want an investigation, perception, something?
You've got the pages and you can read it.
Oh, I'm talking about the rest of the backpack.
Oh, the rest of the backpack just appears to be basic survival equipment.
Cool.
there are some darts in there, and they appear to be like sort of stabbed into a fruit, and you see that there is a vial of white fluid. It's not really a vial like you would expect. It's a bamboo tube with a stopper in it.
Neat tricks. And I'll take a armful of food and the papers and fly down.
Okay. You return to the party.
I found his home. Papers, and I hand them to Detective Graves. I also found a lot of our food. There's more up there.
Oh.
I dropped it on the ground.
I mean, honestly, even if they took all of our food, we'd be fine. Like, I can make 10 berries that will feed you for the entire day anyway, pretty easily.
Oh, that's neat.
We could also hunt for food.
I mean, why would you need to hunt if you could just have a berry that feeds you for the entire day?
I mean, we
The
have
pleasure
food.
of the thing.
I mean, we have food right here just asleep.
Yeah.
We could use, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's good to know that we have a contingency plan should we run out of food, but I mean, there are a lot of pickles in that barrel, and Urgosh just brought down a lot of food from the tree, so...
I mean-
I'm just offering free food for everybody as part of my healthcare plan.
I mean, we could also pickle some meat as well.
I mean, we
Just
can't...
saying.
Well, that's... Is there anything useful on those pages, Detective?
I'll have a quick look through.
All right. You find them. Actually, they're still bundled together, and you can see that they're ripped out at the same time. Entry 4. When we awoke this morning, nobody can seem to remember where we are or how long we've been out here. By a quick count of the rations in my journal, we've been able to ascertain that this is only day 4, and if the map is accurate, we should be some 85 miles southwest of Stormreach. But that's an insurmountable distance to have traveled in such a short time. To make matters worse, many of us have small wound that appears to be the entry point of a dart or some other small projectile. But no, down that path we find paranoia and fear. Perhaps we have traveled through a briar patch, and these are the wounds inflicted by a thorn or some mighty bush. I just can't remember. I wonder, if we were in fact attacked, why did they leave us alive, and what did they take? Rummaging through, you find page 5. The entry says, "The fog of yesterday seems to have lifted. But like a great fool, I did not update the map. I'm extremely frustrated with myself for missing such an obviously important process and after such an experience. Thus far, I have not been able to find the courage, but I fear I do need to tell them soon. I will fall further into cowardice and lead these poor people into ruin." Update. While scouting from a nearby cliff in an attempt to recognize any landmarks, I witnessed a large spherical distortion pass from the south upward through the valley. The sphere appeared transparent but warped everything in its area like a water droplet over glass. But it swirled with the violence of a maelstrom at the center, and through it I could see the twisted vista of an advanced civilization. I do not pretend to know what this magic is, but it was formidable, and clearly somebody has gone to great lengths to harness such immense power. I wonder if this is the legendary curse of the traveler I was reading about. Journal entry 6. I've confessed my failure to map our progress, and subsequently reconnoiter our location through visible landmarks at higher altitudes. I fear we'll have to turn back if I can identify which way that is. The camp this morning seems different. The tents are not aligned in a fashion I am accustomed to. The fires died out over the night, and a bitter cold has set in. Indeed, there was snow on the ground when we awoke this morning. In unseasonable weather for such a tropical climate, sometimes someone else also appears to have selfishly raided the supply wagon. We are terribly short on rations and medical supplies. I wonder if this was in fact the work of thieves, or worse, that we have been out here longer than we realize.
Okay.
Entry 7. This is the last page. Unfathomable! How could we bed down in the night in a terrible blizzard only to awaken amid scorching desert? Worse than that, we have lost our lands and our centuries in the night. No doubt we will be taken by these blasted giants now. Sure, they seem oblivious to our presence when we've seen them at a distance, but I'm afraid that's only a matter of time. We must do something. We must do it now. I can see the coastline from over the desert to the west. Clearly, this was a great Menactaroon shown in the western edge of the map. We will strike camp and head west with all haste, then follow the coast back to Stormreach. It won't be the most expeditious retreat, but for now, it is the only thing that is reliable. I am so thirsty. I wonder, will our rations last, or will we need to survive on the bounty of the sea?
Oh dear. It seems our Lord and Master was a bit of a coward, but I can see why.
One last bit. Update. The sea on the horizon turned out to be nothing more than a mirage. I have marched us a full day into the desert with dwindling water rations and again failed to map any usable progress. The captain of the sentries himself threatened my life and stormed off into the desert. As we made camp for the night, I don't know how we're going to proceed from here without him.
Wait.
And with that, we're going to go to break, everyone. Please hydrate. Stretch your legs. When we come back, we'll find out what the party is going to do with this new information.
It's fine. Everything's fine. The jungle's on fire, but it's fine.
Nothing to be worried about. Don't fret.
Who
Everything's
set
great.
the fire?
Probably your crush.
It's fine.
Listen, I just needed to put that place on fire because sometimes the fire is good.
All right, we will be back in 5 minutes. Please do remember we have donations for One Drop for Flint going right now, and you can make an impact on the story and how we progress tonight. As well, we have giveaways going on in the chat. Thank you to our lovely sponsors over at Tabletop Loot, Ice Cream Dice, and Power Outage, the new game that just came out. And I believe that's going to be, is that on
Power
RPG?
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, you're pretty cool.
All right, guys. We'll see you in 5 minutes.